We want a sad song to start the show.
But you know what? It's a new day. Oh my gosh, what is this? This is really sad.
It's a sad song. All right, we're getting rid of that.
Turn it off. So welcome to All Things Mets Talk. I'm Brenda.
I'm Reina.
And we are also going to be joined by Emily.
Yes.
As soon as she gets on, we're going to include her. And we're going to talk about this dismal opening weekend against the Brewers. And
many things to say.
We were at the game Friday, opening day. We were so excited to be there because it was rained out. And on Thursday, and then we got the opportunity to be at the game, and
that was the only good thing for me. I've never been to an opening day, so I checked that. Too bad it was, as we know, not a great game, but the energy was there up until the game started.
Everybody was so excited. They were calling every Met out to line up, announcing them one by one. I mean, even the like chef was for the Mets was.
Yeah, well, I think that's what they do. They just name everybody.
Trainer A, Trainer B, Trainer C, and I was like, who are these guys? So
I was not really. I'm wondering about the hitting coach Chavez.
What about him?
I don't know. Do you think he's doing his job? Now that we're talking about staff.
Well, I think there's a lot to be desired with this team right now.
Mm-hmm.
I do think it's early.
Yeah.
And I think Milwaukee is an amazing team. I think they're going to be contenders against anyone. So what does Margie have to say?
She said, glad we don't have to play the Brewers till the end of the year.
Yeah, because, but it's the end of the year. So I guess that's good because one way or another, we'll either be in it and competitive or we'll be out of it and it won't matter, right?
Yeah,
so
but Marge is right. It's the worst season start in 10 years.
Yeah, I mean, it's a 3-game sample.
Yeah.
You know, they were home. They looked really tight. They didn't look like they were ready, right?
Yeah.
I wonder if so this is kind of an excuse, but I don't know if we should go with it. But what do you think about like this crappy weather? I mean, I know it was okay, but it was a little chilly. It was windy.
Yeah, definitely super windy.
Something to do with a couple of the plays. I just wonder if these games up here in the Northeast are just not right. I think like every opening day game should be either in a dome or in a nice weather.
Well, you're going to have to pick another team.
You know what I'm saying? It's
but
I was kind of lucked out with the weather in a way because it was okay at this. You know, after the rain out, it was sunny. It was bearable. It wasn't frigid.
Yeah,
there was no snow.
No, it was sunny and I mean,
so
a little windy. But Emily, if you want to join the studio, I think you have to click on the link that I sent you, and then we'll see you. Well, you need to be like on the queue there for us to add you, unless you don't want to be.
Unless you don't want to be one of our co-hosts.
Unless you don't want to
She's
show
hiding.
tearing eyes
from us. I don't know.
So let's wait and see until Emily gets to the studio.
Yeah, but let's get with it. So let's talk first before we even go into Detroit.
All right, let's just wait.
We're going to wait.
Hold your horses.
Because we're going to recap this weekend. Let's start with opening day. 1 hit one lousy hit, and if it didn't go over the wall, they would have been shut out.
Mm-hmm.
And the other two guys that got on base, one got thrown off base. He got thrown out. That was Stewart. I don't know what he was doing. Where was he going?
Oh.
Not that it mattered, but they did only lose 3-1. I mean, it wasn't such an awful outing by Quintana. It could have been better. He gave up a lot of hits.
Mm-hmm.
He didn't look his sharpest, but at least they were
decent.
They were in the game.
Yeah.
I mean, they could have at least manufactured some runs.
Yeah.
Done something, and we know Peralta is fantastic, and he's probably one of the best pitchers in baseball.
Yeah.
So they were up against that. But once he came out of the game, they let their relief pitchers do the job too. So no excuses there.
Yeah, no, that was, and they didn't seem like they were trying, to be honest, right? That was my take on. I don't know.
I mean,
they were.
Look,
I don't know.
A great pitcher can really throw a team off. And I think the Mets were up against one of the best pitchers in baseball. But then, so that was Friday. I mean, let's ask, who watched Friday's opening day game and shut it off before we even got to the ninth inning? Anybody out there? I mean, we had to. We were at the game. We couldn't shut it off. We could have laughed, but we're not that way. I mean, we still believe that the Mets are going to come back. And
I got a new hat. I mean, I don't know what.
Yeah, see, she left the game with something fun.
Yeah. Good memory, like a good hat. I kept the other hat. I wore the other hat for the entire year. I think I'm hoping this hat brings good luck.
Well, yeah, but you wore that on Friday. And did you wear it Saturday and Sunday too?
No, I didn't.
How can that be good luck?
Oh my God, well, we're gonna find out today. We're gonna find out. Mark's takes it's here, and she said she went to the game yesterday and added awful. So
I'll tell you, yesterday, well, okay. Let's still stick with opening day because it was a disaster first because
there's nothing else.
Well, opening day, it's a special day, right? We expect the Mets to win. They always win on opening day. So the fact that they lost, I was like trying to do positive spin on them losing. My positive spin on the Mets losing was like, oh, wow, well, if they win so many games on opening day and they've had such terrible seasons, maybe this year losing on opening day, they'll have a good season. So that was my positive.
Who knows? Hi,
Emily. Sorry, my computer is acting crazy, so I had to use my phone.
No worries.
You're good. Emily's joining us because she is an avid Met fan, and she was also at opening day. And were you at any other games this weekend as well? Because so we can't like totally blame the series on you being there. We're at the jinx.
Oh my God.
No, so that's good. But
one thing that I wanted, so I looked at the Brewers series that we've had for the past couple of years, and we don't do well against the Brewers. It's not completely as disappointing as it is. It's not like totally shocking.
It's not surprising. Do you remember last year when they went to Milwaukee?
Yeah.
I was like, oh my God,
that was
how
bad.
many runs could Milwaukee actually score against them?
Yeah, I wonder what Stearns has to say about that.
Yeah, he built that team, so it's his fault.
Yeah.
So that was opening day. It was disappointing. We were talking about how special opening day is and that we have an expectation of them winning, and they let us down, right?
Well, and it doesn't help that the Mets have the best record in all of baseball for opening day.
Right.
So it just makes you think like, it's a definite. But
Nothing
No.
matters when it comes to
We
the
won't
Mets.
schedule Milwaukee again on opening day.
What was your
No.
April Fool's joke?
Oh my! Well, it wasn't really a joke. It was just that, like, I feel like instead of April Fools, I feel like it's Groundhog's Day. Groundhog.
Yeah, hog.
Hog. No, it's Groundhog.
What happened? It's the 2023 Mets. Whoops.
Groundhog Day. It's happening over.
Yeah. Oh,
again.
I know. Groundhog Day. Tom, he said this weekend irks me more because the Yankees went 4-0 over the Astros. I know they actually have nothing to do with the Mets, but that's how my baseball heart works. Same with us. It sucks.
Yeah, that just rubs salt into the wound to
Mhm.
see the Yankees come up big against the Astros. That's their arch nemesis. And
Yeah.
that was
Yeah.
just, that hurt.
Yeah.
Because I was expecting, to at least get like,
Yeah,
kind
no.
of by default, the Yankees lost too. And then they go and they win. And of course, Soto looks great. Of course.
Yeah.
The future Matt Soto.
I
I'm
hope
really
so.
hoping.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I just cannot wait until JD Martinez joins and just to kind of shake things up a little.
So that brings us to the next game. So then we had Saturday, right? We had the opportunity to actually pull off a comeback victory. And what do we have? We just fell short. And it did remind me of last year of starting out from behind and trying to have to chip away. But every time you're chipping away, your relief pitchers are giving up one run here, one run there. And by the time you get to that position where, hey, you hit the long ball, you got it close, and they just don't give you that opportunity. And they did have 12 hits on Saturday.
Yeah.
And you think if you get 12 hits,
5 of those were Alvies.
and so many runs, you're going to win, right?
Well, and Beatty's 3 shot. I mean,
Yeah.
That
was a moment.
That it went to waste.
Well, you expect that momentum to carry over. That's something that didn't happen last year. And that's why I feel like it's kind of like a repeat. Like it really did feel like last year this weekend.
What do you guys think about Johan Ramirez throwing over Hoskins on the 4th inning? I mean,
well, even before that, we could talk about the slide about.
No, well, obviously, we all know my position is it was dirty as F. And I think McNeil should have taken care of it right there.
Like what? Pop him in the face?
Yeah, push him.
Well, you know what? The Mets probably would have won if McNeil was suspended.
I don't know.
If he did something and got thrown out and got a 2-game suspension, they probably would have won this weekend with him.
A little push, and Shaw would have been. I would have been okay with that. What do people think?
There's a couple things here. So one is that slide was intentional, in my opinion, to take out McNeil.
Oh yeah.
And the thing about it is you can't say he intentionally tried to hurt him, but he could have very well hurt him and knocked him out for the whole season. You break his leg, he's done.
Well, and also coming from Hoskins, who had an ACL tear and was out all last year, you think he'd be a little
idiot.
I mean,
no, exactly. And the way he slid, he was going for McNeil. It wasn't like he was trying to avoid him. I don't care if he was holding on to the
yeah, because he stretched as much as he could and to touch his foot.
And he was already at the base.
Yeah, right. It was so unnecessary.
Yeah,
and once again, it's it's like the umpires just going against the Mets too.
Tom
And
agrees that
I
it
do
was iffy at
feel
best.
that way.
Yeah.
Yeah, and
Marjorie says that Johan Ramirez's suspension was reduced from 3 to 2 games. That's good. He will be
and
starting
he got to
it tonight.
pitch yesterday.
And he got to strike Hoskins out.
Yeah, that was good, but not a little too late there. So to Andreina's point about the throw, Ramirez throwing at, do we think he really threw at him?
What do you think, Emily? You think you think you would have given Severino the chance to hit him, or
no? But I liked that, like, it showed some sort of heart where, like, the Mets haven't had anybody kind of stand up for themselves in a long time, and it was nice to see someone do it, and, like, even if it's not the nicest thing to do.
Yeah. No, but that's baseball.
Right.
That is what is supposed to happen in baseball. And it's expected. I just don't know why they suspended him, because they should have given him a warning, because they call the slide a late slide, but this thing that could have been a away ball immediately ejected. Like, come on.
Yeah,
It's not fair.
Well, and also it's like, I mean, the whole MLB is crazy. I mean, Ohtani doesn't have any sort of, like, they're doing an investigation, but he can play. But
yeah, it's okay to gamble $4.5 million, while Pete Rose sits out of the Hall of Fame. But if you get me started, I could talk about that for like an hour.
Yeah, we're gonna wait until something happens and maybe talk about it, because nothing has happened.
Yeah, but the other thing is, why did Mendoza get a suspension for a game? Like,
because if they think it was probably him telling Ramirez.
But how did they know that? They don't know that he told him to do that. Really, they don't.
He did come out, and, like, I saw a clip of, like, him talking to the umpire, so I don't know what he said or what.
Oh, so maybe it was
the only thought I had, that, like, maybe there was something more that we didn't know.
Oh, that could be. Yeah. So that's a possibility.
To add insult to the injury,
you get thrown out of a game. You don't get suspended for that.
Right.
So if you're arguing with an umpire, to get suspension, it was because of that pitch. And they thought he intentionally, maybe he told the, Ramirez to do it. I don't know. But.
And then to add insult to injury, Riz just killed us.
Yeah, that was. That was the thing that I thought
that was the worst.
About after that slide, after opening day and that whole situation. I was like, you know what? The Mets just have to win. They have to show up. They have to do something important and
shake things up.
Yeah, and then what did they do? Nothing. They did. It was worse than nothing. They let him continue to beat them.
Tom says that he thinks the rules state that if a pitcher is ejected for throwing a batter, the manager gets suspended for 1 game.
Oh, yeah. Well, how do you know that?
No, it's like an automatic thing.
Oh, okay. I don't know. I didn't hear that, but okay.
Tom, did you Google that? What's the source?
I also think that, like, how could we win a game when, like, Nemo isn't getting on base? He's hitting. Lindor is same. I mean, they've been terrible.
That was 4 useless spots on the lineup. Like, nothing, no production there.
So let's talk about the lineup, because just ask Andreina about how I felt about McNeil in the cleanup role on opening day. Go ahead, tell them how
she wouldn't stop. Why is he cleanup? Why is he cleanup?
I was so angry because it made no sense to me. And then after he doesn't produce, they put him back as cleanup. I don't get it.
Well, he's grounded today, so
yeah, he's benched today. Yeah. But he is not a cleanup hitter.
Yeah,
he's not. He's not a run producer. He didn't bat well last year. He doesn't get those key hits. He doesn't have any power. It made no sense for him to bat cleanup.
Yeah. Emily, what do you think?
Well, did you know? So my husband and I were watching like in the beginning of the game before it started and everyone was doing their warm-ups, and it almost looked like he was injured a little bit, like he was running kind of funny. And we both
On opening day?
yeah, we both were looking at McNeil being like,
Huh.
what's wrong with him? And then so I don't know if he's totally healthy, but at the same time, he hasn't been good. And I don't, one person I saw on Twitter was saying something about how, if there's someone that we get suspended, it should be McNeil because we have like a million second basemen in AAA that can come up and
Yeah.
the same
Oh,
thing.
yeah. Plenty.
Well, he's sitting tonight, but some people say
Let's go,
he
Mets.
plays a little bit too much golf. Have you heard that? But that has to do with his swing, batting,
Mhm.
not running. But I've heard that before, like, oh, he's thrown off because he's playing too much golf. I don't really see that correlation. I've never seen that before. A lot of players play golf. So I don't see that.
Yeah, I
at
think
all.
Tom did I think this is the actual Google article. So it's in Major League Baseball, if a pitcher is ejected for intentionally throwing a
Yeah,
batter, the
intentionally.
team's manager may also face consequences.
May.
Specifically, the manager is suspended for
May.
1 game.
May. What does that mean? They may not either.
Well, I mean, that's up to
and
them.
then the whole intentional thing. Okay, we know it was intentional, but still.
Umpires had like terrible lately, so that doesn't surprise me.
So back to this lineup, because I think this is really key. Like, we had one player on opening day actually do something, and that was Marte.
And
We'll move him up in the lineup.
and
Really?
Alvarez did really good. Let's
And
show.
Alvarez too. He's batting cleanup tonight.
We have a little clip of
Alvarez rips one
Albi.
over the bag. That's a fair ball. That'll go down toward the deep corner.
Oh,
That's
we've
taken
seen
the
that.
other way, and Alvarez has another base hit.
I guess that's it.
No, it's not.
First pitch swinging, Francisco Alvarez. And
I don't know why.
that'll drive in a run. Martin in the only 2 runs.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well,
That
He
sliced
hit-
the other way, and Alvarez has his 3rd hit of the day. This is DHing today. Alvarez rips one over the bag. That's a fair
He
ball.
was all
That'll
over the
go down
place.
toward the deep corner.
Look good. He did.
in a good
That's
way,
taken the other way, and Alvarez has another base hit.
right? He hit like all over. He was like tick, 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 like just like a.
Opposite field.
sprinkler.
Yeah. So, yeah, I'm happy with this hitting. I'm not so happy with this defense, but the hitting is, we really need him to produce. We need him up in the batting lineup.
Mhm, yeah. We have Ron saying defense just not making the plays.
Yeah, so you know what? I want
Mhm.
to go back to that because I think it's so important, because it reminds me of last year. It's what we don't see in the box score. You know how when they have, okay, this pitcher gave up like 5 hits and 3 runs and whatever. We don't see the plays that the Mets could have made that become hits. Beatty, come on. He missed that play, and then that resulted in runs. We had a couple of different
Alonso missed a couple
it was,
of.
It was Beatty also missed that line drive. It went off his glove. He had like 2 hands up, and those things get counted as hits. They should be outs. You know who was making those plays? Milwaukee. They were making every single play out there. And not only were they making the plays they needed to make, they were making outstanding plays. They didn't let the wind.
We were hitting
bother
right to their
them.
gloves. I think we were aiming for the
The
gloves.
Mets hit the ball hard. They did in the over the weekend. There were a couple plays that Milwaukee made.
And offense not making strong contact. Also, like it was a combination of things, Ron,
But
for sure.
Those were the plays that they were making in 2022. Like in
Right.
I mean, the infield was solid and playing together well, and things like that didn't happen. So
Yeah.
there's a difference, because we had games in 2022 where no one was hitting. I mean, that's not something that's foreign.
Yeah, I mean, you're gonna lose games, you're gonna win games, but to start the season like this is just so
I
Ugh.
think too, these this gets in the pitcher's psyche too. You extend the at bats, right? You put a runner on, the runner shouldn't be on. That means he's got to get one more out. And you know what? The one thing Milwaukee did well were they executed. They played small ball, they stole bases, they got the timely hits. Then they got the home runs when they needed to. So overall, they really
were the
played
better
the
team.
way like we would wish we played, right?
It's almost like focusing on the things the Mets didn't do, but really Milwaukee was.
They were outstanding, and I expect that they're going to be the leaders going forward in the National League. I really do think they're going to have a great year if they stay healthy. But who knows? They have some studs on their team.
Ugh.
Yeah, I don't know. Yelich is amazing. And, yeah.
And Churio was.
He's up and
Wow.
coming really good.
Wow.
Really
that was
good.
impressive.
Yeah. So tonight we talk about kind of, not that it's the opposite. We have a young team that we're playing tonight. Margie asked about what we thought about Detroit earlier.
Yeah, let me go back to her
So
comment.
let's go to talk about tonight's series a little bit. So what do we think we're going to do tonight?
What are our chances against Detroit? Well, we have Manaya.
Manaya. I call him talk about Manaya. I call him Samson, anti-Samson.
Yeah,
right? No. Anti. Who's the one that with they cut his hair off? Was that Samson?
Yeah.
Okay, I don't remember my Bible, but there was when they cut the hair off.
No, but he's been playing good since he cut his hair.
Strength, but now he cut his hair and he's playing well.
Yeah, so I
he
hope
hasn't really played yet for the Mets in the
I mean, but he did okay in spring training.
He looked okay in spring training.
And then Olsen, I don't know, he had an ERA of 3.99 last year, and Manaya had 4.4. So it's kind of, we have a chance. I think we have a chance.
I was just looking at the Detroit lineup, and I mean, they have Mark Canha, who I love. But
I know.
Wait, since you mentioned him, let's do a poll out there. How many times will he get hit by a pitch for this series? Who thinks?
Not by the Mets.
No, he tends to get hit by pitches.
Yeah, but I think it was probably because he was with the Mets.
Maybe because he was with the Mets, but I guarantee he'll get hit by a pitch at least one time. That's I'm going to say over.
All right, over one. I'm going to say one.
What do you think, Emily?
I think it depends how he's hitting. If he's hitting well, he's not gonna. I mean, he could do more damage hitting than he can.
Yeah, getting hit.
So, he's in the 5 spot.
Okay, we'll see.
Yeah, I miss him too. I miss Canha.
I don't know.
Margie said that Mendoza already served his suspension, so he should be available tonight.
Well, if he made the lineup tonight, I'm happy about it because I was not happy with the switching of the lineup back and forth for the weekend. I just didn't get why Zach Stewart played. I didn't understand.
Yeah, this is a better lineup.
Go with Beatty. He needs to play every day. We're not talking about the middle of the season or the end of the season where, you give him a rest. We just started. What are you doing? I totally am so upset about this lineup. And I'm just hoping tonight that, with these adjustments that it's better.
Mm-hmm.
There's more production.
So they don't have a lot of home run hitters. I think.
Yet until JD comes up.
No, I'm talking about Detroit.
Oh, Detroit, you're talking about against.
I mean, the only one like Spencer Torkelson had 31 last year. So I mean, it depends. It might be a better match. Honestly, it depends how Lindor is playing.
Nemo. Oh my God. Please.
Nemo.
There's no
Nemo. I say Nemo, you say Nemo.
I know that's Spanish. So.
Mendoza.
There's no reason
Alvarez.
to lose unless they just don't show up, which is.
Yeah. No, I think somebody was saying maybe it wasn't the Mets. They would score some runs tonight. So maybe it was another team. I think they were talking about your Reds.
My brothers.
Yeah. So what?
And I think we are. I think the Houston Astros are lost 4, and I mean we're not as bad as the Houston Astros.
That's right.
Because
we're only 0-3.
And Miami also 0-4, and we're
Miami
0-3.
pitching staff is worse than the Met pitching staff. So there you go. So
the best of the worst.
what do you think about relief pitching and about Diaz actually coming into a game that kind of like a non-save workout type of game? Do you think that was the right call to be able to do that?
Yeah.
I thought so. A lot of Met fans were like, absolutely not. He should.
Well, no, I think that was one of the things Buck didn't do with it was always like not playing Diaz so that like just in case you need him tomorrow, then it'd go like a week without seeing him.
Yeah.
Crazy.
I think it was good to bring him like in a situation like not so too much break. I mean, I would have loved if we were like saving the game, but
I think too it was good for the fans. It meant a lot for
I
him
wish
to
I
be
could have
out
been there when the trumpets.
Yeah. So maybe we'll hear him.
We're gonna
tonight.
go back. We're gonna go back to Citi Field for sure.
Yeah, when they're doing well, or
We're gonna go back. We don't know if they're gonna do well.
When are
Well,
you?
either it'll be really cheap because they're doing terribly, or it'll be exciting if they're doing well.
That's right.
Yeah.
Yes. When is it? The tickets may be cheap, but they're not lowering the prices of anything else. So,
Oh man.
listen, I want to give you a hint before we end this podcast. Okay, if you're going to Citi Field, pack your lunch. You can bring 8-ounce bottles of water in, as many as you want. Okay. The only thing you have to buy is alcohol and ice cream there, because you could just bring everything else in. Do not park in the parking lot, because then you're stuck and you paid $40 to wait. You park on the street, you walk over, and there you go. You save right there $100 easy. So
Yeah.
if the tickets are expensive, that's all your main cost. That's my take on Citi Field. I hope, Emily, you follow those rules too.
Parked in the parking lot, and it took us over an hour to get out of there.
Why did you do? All you had to do was say, "Where do you park?" You should have called me. You just park in the street. Walk over.
Next time.
Did you have your family with you though?
I have my husband, and we were running late, so I was more anxious.
It would have been hard to find a spot on the street running late, but it still would have been better than the parking lot. Yeah.
It would have been better if they won.
Yeah, and then if you're in the parking lot after they win, it's not so bad. When they're losing, you're like,
Get me out of
and
here.
you're listening to the recap on the radio, and you're like, oh God, will
Oh
you
my
remind
God.
me
Those
how pathetic they play?
Yeah, so let's just hope for tonight that it's a good game and a winning game for our Mets, because we all need it, right? To kind of wear our Met stuff proud.
I'm really hoping Lindor hits like a triple or a double, home run, anything.
Yeah.
Biggest point.
I'm telling you, this lineup is the best for now until they get JD. So I think we're going to see some production tonight.
Tom is calling it the Mets will win tonight.
I love that enthusiasm.
Yay!
Yeah, I haven't really been following Boston, so I don't know how they're doing, Tom. I think they have a good team this year.
They're probably second or third.
Well, they lost they got Giolito, but then he needed Tommy John.
Oh, he got hurt.
Oh.
Yeah. So they'll find someone else. But you know what? The game's going to be starting soon, right?
Yeah, we gotta go, guys.
Yeah. So thank you so much for joining. Make sure you hit the like button and you share with others. Help get our subscriptions up. So if you haven't subscribed, subscribe and continue to support us and
Thank you, everybody. We love you. Thank you,
Emily.
Thank you, Emily.
We appreciate it. Let's go Mets.
Much hope. Yeah. Bye. What?
Tom just was talking about Boston.
Oh, yes.
Okay. At least they have some.
Let's go Red
W's
Sox.
in the column.
Bye, everyone. Thank you so much.